Hey there, welcome to Matt's Garage. Well, this video is going to be on changing upper and lower motor mounts on a PT Cruiser and on how to align them. I did lose a few clips of this video due to a memory card failure, so that's why I'm just doing a touch-up beginning right now, and partway through this video the car will be orange, and all my advice and tips will apply just the same because the cars are identical. So just ignore the change of vehicles and focus on what I'm showing you. To start with, one thing you want to do while the mount's still in there, I find is best, is crack this loose. It's an 18. Just get a ring wrench and get in here, and I'll show you this up close in a minute. Just be careful when you're cracking it loose you don't hit the AC line. You can see if I can get the wrench out here a little safer. So here we go. You can see there's two 15s right there under the AC line, and they hold down this little block, and then there's another 18 bolt that runs through here and bolts to that block. So that's what I was breaking loose down in there, that 18 right there. And then this here is an 18 as well. These are 15s, this is an 18. Okay, so I'm just going to use my impact gun to loosen this off, and nice to have an extension so you're not bumping into the AC line so bad. You just put the 15 on. Okay, so just pull your bolts here, and now you can just wriggle this right out here. Just pull it ahead and lift the back end up and give it a little twist, another little twist. You can give these lines a little pressure, but don't get too carried away with them. And there you go, comes out just that easy. And you can actually see this mounts in really rough shape. See how that's broken out there? Completely broken out there. It's still holding here, but that's what you want to look at. And so you can get a bad engine vibration from this, because your engine will be out of alignment and it just won't be supported properly. So this was the bolt that I broke loose first, and you can see it threads into there. And you can see this end is slotted because this is actually an adjustable mount, so pay attention when I put it back in, how I install that and how I verify that it's in the right location. Another thing is, there's that. I'm not sure exactly what that's for, but you should transfer it over. I think it's kind of like to absorb vibration or something like that. I don't know. So the first step's normally going to be to remove this plastic shield. And then you just have to wriggle that down. It kind of pulls down and around everything inside the wheel well there. You'll figure that out. That's pretty basic. So basically what you want to do here is get in here with a pry bar and just apply some force and check for cracks opening up. You can get in here and give it a good twist. And actually this mount isn't that bad. I thought that this mount was in really rough shape, and it's not too bad, but you can see there's a little bit of hairline cracking starting right there and right there, and that's what you want to look for when you twist it. You want to look for cracks opening up. So first step will be removing this 18mm bolt here. I just wanted to take a second on this video to show you guys the mid-mount here and show you how it fits in the car. So that sits up inside the frame rail here. This one you normally would change when you're doing the timing belt, or you'd at least check it. They'll often last for 2 or 3 of the upper and lower mounts before they go bad, and I've even seen original ones of these outlast the cars. The original ones were oil filled, so they really held up good, but if they burst they can actually leak out oil. It's actually bolted into the frame rail with 4 bolts on the other side here, and then the center bolt here is actually a Torx T55, just like that. And so it's under this cover here. There we go. So there's the mid-mount bolt. This is actually the main bolt that holds the entire weight of the engine. So be sure to have the engine support it before you take it out. And then it's a T55 bit. And just make sure that you have the bit all the way seated in there before you try to turn it. And then don't forget to snap this little cover back in when you're done there, because it keeps the water out of the frame rail there. I want to drip a little oil on this rear bolt here. You have to take this outer nut off that holds that support brace, and it's a 15mm nut. And then I believe the nut behind it's 18, and this front bolt is 18. So I'll get on this 15 right here. Okay, now you see up here, there's a fastener right there. That's a 13 up there, and you just want to loosen that. You don't want to take it right off. If you loosen it enough that you can flop it out and swing it away from this, then just leave it dangle there, and then you can get this 18mm fastener out. I'm just going to get in here with a little 3-in-1, put a little on the back side of that, and a little on the back side of that. There's some threads in there, and that just ensures everything comes apart smoothly. So I'll just loosen that off. Actually, this one has a welded nut. Some of them just have a little retainer on there, but this has a welded nut. So, okay, with the top loose now, we'll just pull the bottom off. As you can see, you might actually have to take the top right off, but I was able to pull that off of there. So I'll just hook that back there so it's out of my way. Now I'm just going to get onto this 18 back here. And then we'll get onto this 18 up here as well. A few good thumps on my ratchet and we got it broken loose here. And like I said, you don't have to support the engine or anything. The middle mount holds the weight of the engine. This mount just keeps the engine from swinging back on the bottom. The other mount on the top keeps it from swinging ahead, and together they keep it from twisting on the center mount there. So there we go, that one out of there. And now this just pulls off the front and out of that pocket on the back, and there you go. Now there is one thing I'll warn you about aftermarket mounts, and I'm not sure about the one I've got. I haven't unboxed it yet, but some of them have too much material in this area, and you actually have to grind them a bit just to get clearance for your oil pan. Okay, well here we go with the new part. It looks like a pretty nice one. This is what I was talking about, this cut in area here. I've had them that they come just straight here, and I've had to cut them in like this to give clearance to the oil pan. As you can see, I've got that upper mount in there. So now I'm going to put this lower mount in, and then we'll show you how to adjust them both to make sure there's no vibrations or anything after you're done here. Okay, so obviously the that end goes in to give it clearance. I don't think it can, no, it certainly couldn't install backwards, so you're pretty safe there. And then on this end you can see there's a little pin there just to kind of align it on the front and hold it in place. So that's nice. So you just angle it in there and shove it up in there, and then pull it up here, and you can just get the front bolt started in here with your fingers. So just make sure that's seated down there and it's not sitting on that pin or anything silly. So now we can line that up on the back, and it's kind of got a slotted hole on the back for adjustment. We're going to get to that in a minute here. For now we just want to get this in finger tight here, and we'll snug down the front one completely. Now this one just has a fixed hole. It has that pin on the back side it has no movement on this end, so you can tighten this one right down even though we haven't adjusted it yet. I'm just going to give it a good snug here, but I will include the torque spec below here right now. There, that's good and tight. So if I was jacking under here, under this engine, I'd jack under this cast iron bracket that the AC mounts to. Okay, and now I just want to show you one last important step to changing your mount and making sure your car is vibration free, and that's actually aligning your mount, and that's what this little hole is for. You measure between the center of that hole and the center of that bolt, and I've actually gone ahead and measured it out already. It's 4 11/16 inches, and I've cut the zip tie to that exact length. So that's 119 millimeters exactly for you metric people. And this way I can just hold that in between there, and you can see it's real close. It's it goes to the start of that hole, but it's not bang on, and you can actually see the mark on there where the old washer was before. So basically what we have to do is loosen this bolt. There's actually a slot here. There's a little bit of adjustment, and then you can pivot the engine to line that up. So you'll probably have to put a jack under the engine for this if yours isn't lining up. I mean, if it's lined up, you're good. You don't have to do anything. So now that's loose, and I've actually got the lower mount loose as well. So now we're just going to jack up on the front a little bit because that should pull it ahead. So we're going to go up top here now and check our adjustment with our little tie wrap there. Okay, you can see I've got it bang on now. It's in the center of that hole and the center of that bolt head. So that's exactly 4 11/16 inches or 119 millimeters between those 2 points. And that means that you're aligned. You can see how much the bolt head's actually moved there, quite a bit. So now we tighten everything up, take the jack out, and just confirm that that's still aligned. And now we're just going to lock this rear bolt down, and the same thing, since we were trying to come ahead as much as we could, we're just going to make sure that we're maxed out on that, and we are. It's not moving any more ahead anyway. So just lock that one down. Perfect. So now we're going to remove the jack. You can see I didn't have a lot of pressure on there. It only dropped a little bit when I took the jack out. Okay, so now we just got to go up top and confirm that our alignment's correct. And then we can go ahead and put this brace on back here again. So there we go. I would call that good. Don't forget here that this is not level here. I think you're actually supposed to hold it on the bolt, hold it down under this hole, and then match it up. So the fact that I've got it sitting in there on an angle like that means that it's going to be a little bit shy of its reach points, if you know what I mean. See what I mean? When I hold it under the actual hole there, I don't know if you can see where it's lining up through the hole, and look down, it's bang on. The distance that it is short is just because I'm running it on an angle. You should actually, for maximum accuracy, measure it like that, hold it underneath this hole, and look down through the hole so that it's in a straight line from the level of this bolt back here, if you know what I mean, this bolt here. Anyways, I will caption up the spec sheet for that, like the diagram of how you're supposed to measure that off. I think I've demonstrated it pretty accurately here though. Okay, so now it's time to put this brace back on. I just had it hooked back here. As I said, you might have to take the upper end of it right off. On this car I was able to just barely stretch it off of here. So it should go back on with a little bit of similar force. There we go. So now we start that 15 millimeter nut on there. Now I am going to snug up the top of it first, and then I'll snug up the bottom. And remember, the top's just 13 millimeter. So there we go. We'll just tighten up this 15, and aside from putting the splash shield on, we are done changing our motor mounts. So thanks a lot for watching Matt's Garage. I do hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself an awesome day.